I will additionally dramatically increase investments in basic and applied scientific research. I propose making the tax credit for research and experimentation permanent. And I will invest more in math and science education, something else our country did after Sputnik went up. Third, I will help build a 21st century manufacturing base. I know there are some Americans, I hear them on TV, I meet them, who say that, well, our nation doesn't need or can't keep a vibrant manufacturing base. I could not disagree more. I think a nation that does not manufacture is a nation whose economy cannot remain strong. We've got to have manufacturing to provide a laboratory for innovation, a challenging feedback loop for engineers and designers, and invaluable training for a generation of entrepreneurs and leaders. I'm the co-chair of the bipartisan Senate Manufacturing Caucus, and I've worked to develop a manufacturing strategy to meet our needs in the new century. I'm also the founder of a group called New Jobs for New York. It's a unique nonprofit that harnesses the ingenuity and the entrepreneurship and the hard work of New Yorkers from across the state. I've worked hard to connect New York City with upstate New York and to show companies there is no need to go offshore for talent. We've got skilled workers in New Hampshire and New York and across America, and it's time that American business put them to work. Fourth, as president, I will harness the power of innovation to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure. You know, economists estimate that for every $1 billion we spend on fixing infrastructure, that creates nearly 48,000 new jobs. My Rebuild America plan, which I unveiled here in New Hampshire some weeks ago, invests $10 billion over 10 years in an emergency repair fund to begin addressing the extensive backlog of emergency repairs. We need to modernize our roads, our rail systems, our seaports, our public transit systems, and our public buildings. I've also proposed a green building fund to invest $1 billion annually in grants and low-interest loans for states and cities to improve energy efficiency in public buildings. That will help cut pollution, combat climate change, and also create thousands of jobs. I will also implement a national broadband strategy, building on my record in the Senate. In the 21st century information economy, we need to invest in an information infrastructure. I propose tax incentives which passed the Senate to encourage businesses to bring broadband networks to underserved rural and urban areas. But we've got to do more than that. We need to build on some of the exciting initiatives that are going on around the country. One state, Kentucky, has created a public-private partnership to measure demand and create new funding sources to bring broadband across their state. In 2004, they had a 62% broadband coverage rate. By 2007, they're at 92%, and they expect to reach close to 100% by the end of the year. I want to be a president who actually listens to what's happening in our country and then builds on it and uses evidence. I want to get back to evidence-based decision-making. I think that's the way America works. I love a comment that Stephen Colbert made that, yeah, I know, can you believe it? That this president doesn't make decisions based on facts, but facts based on decisions. And we're going to reverse that when I'm in the White House. And I know that America is ready for change, and I believe I have the strength and experience and the vision to make that change happen. With the right policies and the right leadership, we can create millions of new jobs. We can strengthen the middle class, which is the economic engine and the ladder of opportunity for our country, and we can win in the global economy. And I hope you'll join me. I'm asking you to support my campaign as I work to change course. Change course in the economy, change course in Iraq, and change course in healthcare and so much else. I take nothing for granted. I know how hard this campaign is, and I am working as hard as I can every day to earn the votes of people in New Hampshire. It really is wonderful for me campaigning here because I have so many friends and I'm making new friends every single day. but I know we have a long way to go before anybody ever shows up to vote. So I'm going to keep coming back time and time again and keep working hard and hopefully earn your vote. Thank you all very much. And prosperous middle class, how to get back to having America be the innovation nation so that we're not losing opportunities and scientists and researchers and engineers and inventors to other countries, and we're not losing the technology that is created right here in America. We have two people who have some real insight into how we can do this. And I'm going to start with Kedar, who, as he said when he was introducing me, was one of the two founders of GT Solar. And I want him to tell us a little bit of that story because it's such an American story. And it's a story that I want to see repeated time and again across our country. Kedar?
Thank you, Senator. I have to tell you guys, and I have to take you a little bit back in history. And 40 years ago, I had a decision to make. How I'm going to start my career. I had just finished my college. And I had a scholarship from America, from a school, and I had only $8 in my pocket. And I took that journey to go to a land of opportunity. And I tell you, after 40 years, I get the same goosebump today, what America is going to be under President Hillary Clinton. I truly mean it. We were leader. We need to be leader, and we have all the attributes to be a good leader and a good human being. We have forgotten that. And I'm not on the other issues, I'm on the technology issues, how to bring good jobs. So Renu and I, about 13 years ago, in 1994, we put in $1,000 of our money between John Talbot as a co-founder, and he started GT Solar. And nobody knew about GT Solar at that time. But the power of American entrepreneurship is unbelievable. Today, GT Solar does hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of business. 80% of that is exported to Japan, Germany, China. China is one of our biggest markets, and everybody is buying from China. We export to China. We're everywhere in China. So my question to Senator is, how are we going to bring that kind of excitement again? Because it is possible to do it. We need government to help us, not be against us.
Well, thank you, Kedar. You know, we have ingenious and innovative people across America. You know, they may start in a basement like Kedar did, or in a garage like Bill Gates did. But they come up with the ideas that fuel our economy and really change the world. And historically, we've invested in science and research as a partnership. The federal government has done a lot through various agencies in health, the National Institutes of Health, and science, the National Science Foundation, the Department of Energy, the Department of Defense through an agency called DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. And anytime we have faced a challenge, we've gotten busy and figured out how to overcome it. So I referred to Sputnik, which was 50 years ago last week. Well, when Sputnik went up and the Russians beat us into space, President Eisenhower didn't sit around accusing people of having lost the space race or pointing a finger and saying, oh my goodness, look what the Russians have done, let's try to get partisan political advantage for it. He called in his science advisors, and he actually listened to them about how we could put together a smart strategy. President Kennedy did the same thing with the space program. President after president, going way back in our history, has valued science. Now that doesn't mean we do everything that scientists tell us. We value evidence. You've got to prove what you need to do, and it has to be done in an appropriate framework, and when it comes to something like stem cell research, an ethical framework. But we've always been moving forward progressively until